All right, so I want to take a look at this chapter 12 quiz in my econ lab. The homework, again, just print it out. The first time you take as many times as you want. Again, the answers are right in the textbook. I don't think it's that difficult at all. But let's take a look at this quiz. Let me preview it. Since I'm a day late recording this won't be due until, I'll change the due date till Tuesday night. So if you have any questions, ask me in class. So here's his first question. When the economy is at full employment, there is only cyclical unemployment. This is extremely false, right? Because there's always going to be structural and frictional unemployment. Take a look at how those terms are defined. They will be questions on the final. There's no way of checking my answer here. Too bad. I like to have that positive feedback. iPods and the MP3 players came along, replacing CDs. And again, this is this classic example of this is structural and frictional unemployment. Again, see how those are defined in the textbooks, because the question on the file will be, I'll probably have a couple of questions on this unemployment stuff and word a little bit differently. Just understand. It's not that hard, I don't think. Economists believe that the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, tends to be overestimate the increase in the cost of living over time. Yeah, they do. It does overestimate. So again, watch how you read this, right? Because it may come out true or false. Because again, they do ask these questions in a different way, depending on when you take it. So just read it, understand it, take a look at the CPI, and it's right in the textbook, I believe. Let's see. This is right from the homework. The CPI. Here, what's this? This is the new minus old divided by old, right? So the price of bread was 8 cents in 1940, $3.59 in 2010. This is going to be a huge percent increase, right? So you should get a large number in there. Just take out your little calculator. New minus old divided by old. Same thing here. Here's the calculating the inflation rate, right? Price index of 52 in 2005, and now it's 58 in 2006, right? I can do this in my head, right? This is not that big of a percent change as compared to the last question. So take a look at new minus old divided by old. Right. Next question. Let me do this one. Carl recently lost his job as a steel worker because steel imports from China are cheaper. They are, and from Korea too, than the American produced steel. Carl is a employment of, this is a structural change, right? So we got to get used to these cheap imports, right? Megan, who recently graduated from college, so you graduate from college and you can't find a job. Again, this is going to be frictional. I know it's going to be frictional. Yeah. Megan is frictionally unemployed. Next, natural unemployment rate. It's not that hard, right? Because when there is no, again, you got frictional, structural, which will always be with us, and then you get the cyclical stuff. And this is what the Federal Reserve worries about, right? There will be an essay question on the final about the Federal Reserve, and I would love to see someone mention the Fed is worried. The Fed is worried about cyclical unemployment specifically when there's in the business cycle, right? We get these boom and busts. So remember that one for the final if you do that question on the Federal Reserve, which would make sense if you ask me. Let's see, next question. Economists regard the natural rate of unemployment for the United States between, well, the book says 5 and 6.5%. I would say around this one, 3 and 4 and 5, but the 5 and 6%. 5 and 6.5%. So right now we are at a natural rate of unemployment theoretically. But again, we have a lot of people that have left the labor market, have not come back. The number of people not working in this country is really low as a percentage of the total population. Let's see, next question. Yeah. What is likely to occur in the economy if the unemployment rate drops below the natural unemployment rate? So a lot of people working, again, this is what the Federal Reserve does, right? They're watching, the numbers came out yesterday of people that just got fired that were signing up for unemployment. That number was really low. So the Fed is watching this, that the labor market is heating up. More and more people are working. So if this happens, if the labor market heats up, the economy heats up, then higher inflation could be a problem down the road. Though inflation is extremely low right now, so it's kind of, it's the fun thing about economics. It's a changing world and a changing economic system that we're having nowadays. This is stuff we haven't seen before, where the economy is, fairly doing well, but inflation is, at zero last month. It makes it fun, right? So take a look at this quiz, fairly easy. Again, there's a bunch of questions in the homework, but they're directly taken from the textbook. Just print it out, the homework. You can print out the quiz, understand the question. So when you take it the second time and the wording and the numbers are a little different, it won't be that difficult for you. So again, this will be due on Tuesday at midnight. So if you have any questions, ask me in class on Tuesday. I would enjoy answering your questions.